I'm going to hear from Mike Sabin.
Thank you, sir. Look, very pleased to be able to take my first call on this first clause of, of the Summary Offences Possession of Handheld Lasers Amendment Bill. Can I just join others in acknowledging the work of Dr Cam Calder? Aye. And there has been a degree of frivolity throughout the bill, Dr Calder, but of course we have all acknowledged the seriousness of offending that can occur, or the incidents that can occur as a result of people misusing these instruments, and the Honourable Paula Bennett has alluded to it. Certainly we've seen, even in warring nations, the use of handheld lasers to actually attempt to take down aircraft and successfully take down aircraft. So, sir, the crux of the title discussion throughout the course of this bill, actually, sir, and fundamental to this clause, was the change from it being simply a handheld laser to a high-powered laser, 1 milliwatt, that the previous speaker alluded to. Sir, and there has been much, there was much conjecture and discussion upon this during Select Committee, and indeed the officials and the police provided some good advice, and I think we've landed in the right space in terms of the redefinition of the title, but also the fact that we are talking about high-powered lasers as opposed to simply a handheld laser which may be used in a completely inane domestic area and not present the same risk. Sir, I guess if we look at the difference between a handheld laser and a high-powered laser, one could argue, and I think Dr Calder certainly successfully did bring this point of discussion to the table, that it's no different to the summary offences possession of a knife. We don't talk about the knife being of a certain length. It's simply the fact that it is a knife, and used inappropriately or used in an offensive manner can cause grievous harm. Now, one can do that with a very short knife, the same as one can do it with a very long knife. So one could argue in terms of the redefining, and as it relates to the... Sorry, what was that? Double-edged. Well, it could be a double-edged. It is a double-edged sword, indeed, in fact. But we jest. But coming back to the point that we've arrived at the Select Committee, that is now obviously highly relevant to this Clause 1 in terms of the title, the decision was made, and it's probably on balance a wise decision, that high-powered being over 1 milliwatt, where I guess the substantive damage is likely to be done, or the risk is actually arrived at, is probably a fair landing place, sir, and therefore the bill will change, or the Act, when it comes into force, will be known as the Summary Offences Possession of High-Powered Lasers Act. And I think, high-powered laser pointers, actually, to be more precise, sir, is where that will land. And I think on balance, Dr Calder accepts that that is fair. It will still achieve purpose, and ultimately that is something that we can discuss later in the passage of this bill. But certainly, sir, I think the title accurately reflects what it is that this legislation aims to achieve, that it's high-powered lasers over 1 milliwatt that we are concerned about, that are likely to cause the most risk to those travelling in vehicles, to those travelling in air, if someone is stupid enough to use them in a malicious way. And of course that will ensure that university lecturers all about the country will feel that they can go about their business without fear or favour of being unfairly targeted by this legislation, sir. So the Summary Offences Possession of Handheld Lasers Amendment Bill will be amended as discussed to incorporate high-powered laser pointers. And in that, sir, I think Dr Calder should be congratulated on his pragmatic efforts to ensure that he didn't lose the essence of what he was trying to achieve legislatively, and that this bill will achieve its purpose in that sense, sir.
Mr Chair.
Dr Cam Calder.
Mr Chair, I have been asked a couple of questions during the course of this debate which I would like to take the opportunity to answer, and one of them is from the Honourable Minister to my right, who